I woke up inside a novel, cast as the abusive male lead, and it was the day I was supposed to sign the divorce papers. Just as I was about to put pen to paper, a few lines of text scrolled across my vision, like live comments on a video. Red alert! Prepare for the grovel fest redemption arc. Ha ha ha! Waiting for the scumbag to refuse to sign, then burst into tears and beg the female lead for forgiveness. Torture him. He won't sign. He's got to wake up now, right? Realize Olivia was framed by his supposed angel. Seeing those comments, I just smirked and decisively signed my name. I wasn't the actual male lead. Why the hell should I go through a chase her back through hell redemption arc? I transmigrated. I was now Ethan Vance, the cold, heartless, blind, obsessively possessive, and ultimately groveling scumbag CEO from that trashy, drama-filled novel, The President's Captive Bride. And right now, I was at the family court finalizing my divorce. Next to me sat a woman. Beautiful, but her face was ashen, paper white. Olivia Hayes, legally my wife, but not for much longer. According to the novel, we'd been married for 3 years. In that time, I'd been a complete monster, neglected her, humiliated her, misunderstood her, even caused her miscarriage. A bona fide piece of trash. But I was also supposedly madly in love with her, driven to extremes by the whispers of a scheming witch and the taunts of Olivia's ambiguous male best friend, her one that got away. The book's plot was standard. Male lead screws up royally in the beginning. Female lead suffers endlessly. Then male lead has an epiphany and begins the long, painful crawl back to her, the infamous chase her back through hell arc. The original Ethan Vance ended up crippled, bankrupt, and nearly dead. And the result? Olivia still didn't forgive him. He went through hell and back for nothing. In a word, miserable. As I was mulling this over, more of those colorful, semi-transparent words floated before my eyes, slightly obscuring my view. Red alert! Prepare for the grovel fest redemption arc. Ethan, you dog, wake up. Look how much Olivia has sacrificed for you. If you sign, you're finished. $5 says he's about to rip up the divorce papers and roar. I don't agree. Classic scene. Live comments. I got it. Viewers from another world. They were watching a show, waiting to see me suffer, see me regret, see me walk that dead-end road of groveling for forgiveness. I looked at the words, and a corner of my mouth twitched up. Chase her back through hell. What's it got to do with me? I wasn't Ethan Vance. Why should I suffer that psycho's purgatory? Crippled, bankrupt, begging on my knees. Are you kidding me? Doesn't freedom sound a hell of a lot better? My survival instinct kicked in hard. Get out of this right now. The court clerk pushed the papers over, placing them in front of me and pointing to the signature line. Olivia wasn't looking at me. Her head was down, eyes fixed on the tabletop, still empty. She was signing her copy, her name written quickly, forcefully, as if escaping something. The pen was right by my hand. I picked it up. The live comments kept scrolling, thick and fast. His expression is so cold. Is he really going to sign? Impossible. He's faking, definitely faking. He's about to blow. Waiting for the iconic scene, screenshots and recordings ready. I didn't even glance at those noisy comments. I just grabbed the pen. The tip touched the paper smooth, and then I wrote Ethan Vance. Quick and steady, not a shred of hesitation. My wrist didn't even tremble. Finished. I put the pen down and pushed the papers to the clerk. Done, I said, my voice surprisingly light. The whole room was quiet, except for the hum of the air conditioning. The clerk looked a bit stunned, glancing from the papers to me, then to Olivia. Probably hadn't seen such an efficient divorce, especially from the notorious Mr. Vance, who was rumored to be so in love with his wife. Olivia had finished signing too. She lifted her head, those vacant eyes finally meeting mine. They weren't purely numb anymore. There was something else in them. Astonishment, disbelief. The viewer feed exploded. WTF? He signed? He actually signed? This isn't in the script. Director, what about ripping up the papers? What about the sudden awakening? Where's my grovel fest? Is this what I paid to see? Refund? The clerk processed the paperwork quickly, efficiently. 2 crimson-covered certificates were handed over, the divorce decrees. Done. I was emotionally liberated. I stood up, stretched. Olivia was still sitting, head down, staring at the certificate in her hand like it was a branding iron. I didn't look back at her as I walked away. My strides were long and quick. I wanted out of this place fast. The comments scrolled like mad. He just left? He really left? Didn't even look back. Where's my groveling? Where's my redemption arc? Did the writer take a dump instead of writing? Effin' Vance, you get back here, and kneel. Wait a sec, isn't he walking away a little too easily? Stepping out of the family court building, the sunlight was blinding. The city bustled around me. The air felt fresher. The driver pulled up in the black luxury sedan, parking by the curb. I opened the door, slid in. Leather seats, comfortable. Back to the office, sir? The driver asked. Yeah. I leaned back, closed my eyes. My head was still throbbing, but that massive weight in my chest was gone. Relief, an unprecedented sense of relief. The car started, merging into traffic. The courthouse receded behind us. My phone vibrated. I pulled it out. The screen lit up with a name, Chloe Summers. The supposed angel. The scheming witch in the book who framed Olivia, who tricked the original Ethan into believing Olivia miscarried another man's child. One of the primary catalysts for the upcoming Grovel Fest. The comments instantly got excited. Here it comes, the angel's call. She's definitely calling to comfort him. Ethan's gonna go cry on her shoulder. Scumbag and bitch, lock them up together. Leave our Olivia alone. I looked at the name, disgusted. I hung up, then swiped her contact into the blacklist. Half the world's problems solved. Another explosion in the comments. Hung up? And blocked her? Holy crap. What the hell kind of move is that? That's not how the script goes. Ethan, wake up. Did he find out? Know that Chloe framed Olivia? So what if he knows? It's too late, scumbag. The driver glanced at me in the rearview mirror. Mr. Vance, that was Miss Summers. Her name is not to be mentioned again. My voice was low but cold. The driver immediately shut up. Yes, Mr. Vance. The phone rang again. This time it was my assistant. I answered. Mr. Vance, have you completed the process? His voice was cautious, probing. Yes. Divorced, I said flatly. Does Miss Hayes require any compensation arrangements? Not a dime. As per the prenup. I cut him off. I remember the prenup. Olivia had signed it. She walked away with nothing. Because that Chloe creature had convinced the original Ethan that Olivia was pregnant with another man's child, leading him to force the miscarriage and then ensure she got nothing in the divorce. Her things. Have someone pack them and throw them out of the Vance residence. Don't send them to the wrong place. And get the keys back. A distinct choke on the other end. Understood, Mr. Vance. What about Mr. Vance Sr.? He's always been quite fond of Miss Hayes. Mr. Vance Sr., the original's father. In the book, he was decent to Olivia. Too bad his son was a turd. He later kicked the male lead out, cut him off without a penny. I'll handle him myself. Now, back to the office. Get all department heads in the main conference room in 1 hour. I want to see the latest financial reports and project statuses. All of them. The latest. If I don't see them in that conference room in 30 minutes, they can submit their resignations. Yes, Mr. Vance, right away. My assistant's voice snapped to attention. He hung up. The comments were flying a blur. This isn't a divorce. This is a scorched earth policy. Cold-blooded. So cold-blooded. Olivia's 3 years of youth fed to the dogs. Chloe Summers blacklisted. Olivia Hayes kicked to the curb. Back to work. What the hell possessed this Ethan Vance? Career mode activated? Time to make money. The chase her back through hell script has been thoroughly shredded. Ha ha, bitter laugh. 3, I arrived at the office and pushed open my door. A figure lunged at me, trailing a cloud of perfume. Chloe Summers. Her eyes were red, as if she'd been crying. Her voice was sticky sweet. Ethan, why did you block me? What did I do wrong? I sidestepped. She stumbled, nearly falling. Ethan, honey. She turned, a look of hurt bewilderment on her face. I walked past her and sat behind my desk. I looked up, my voice icy. I'll let you in. I heard from your assistant you got divorced. I was worried about you. She tried to edge closer. Get out. What? Chloe froze. Now. Immediately. Get out of my office. I pointed to the door. And don't ever come near this place again. Her face flushed red, then drained to white. Ethan, honey, how could you? Security. I buzzed the intercom. The viewer feed went nuts. Damn. Ruthless. He's like this even with his angel. Chloe's face is priceless. Ha ha ha. That slap was loud, satisfying. Did Ethan take the wrong meds or something? He seems pissed at everyone. Security arrived quickly. Mr. Vance, please escort Miss Summers out. And from now on, she's not allowed in the company building without my explicit permission. I looked down at a file, dismissing her. Yes, sir. The guards turned to Chloe. Miss Summers, if you please. Ethan Vance, you bastard. I'm never speaking to you again. Chloe shrieked as she was half escorted, half dragged away. The office returned to silence. The comments kept scrolling. He really kicked her out. Badass. Angel turns into a nobody. This plot is falling apart. This development. I don't get it, but I'm thoroughly shaken. Is the scumbag turning over a new leaf? No, this isn't turning over a new leaf. This is like a brain transplant. I ignored the comments. The head housekeeper called, saying my father wanted me home immediately. I went back to the Vance family estate. The old man was on the sofa, his face livid. Surprisingly, Olivia was there too. She stood in the middle of the living room, an open suitcase at her feet, placing a few folded clothes inside. Hearing footsteps, she paused but didn't turn around, continuing her task. The old man saw me and slammed his hand on the armrest. You damn bastard. Explain yourself. Dad, you see it. The papers are signed, I said. She'll leave once she's packed. Leave. The old man shot up, furious. Who said she's leaving? He strode over to Olivia and slammed the suitcase lid shut. Olivia, honey, stop that. If anyone's leaving, it's not you. Olivia's hand froze midair. The old man whirled on me, his finger practically in my face. The one who should get lost is you. Ethan Vance. I don't have a heartless, blind fool for a son. The comments exploded again. Whoa, the old man's a powerhouse. Ethan must be wetting his pants now, about to beg for mercy, right? Waiting for the scumbag to break down, crying and beg for forgiveness. The old man turned to comfort Olivia. Olivia, don't go. Ethan's really changed. I just got word. He's already blocked that Chloe woman and banned her from the company. Ethan still loves you. His chest heaved as he spoke, word by word. Olivia's eyes held a flicker of surprise, as if she couldn't comprehend I'd actually block my beloved Chloe for her. Seeing I wasn't speaking, the old man fumed. Ethan, I'm telling you right now, if you dare to actually divorce Olivia, you get the hell out of this house. The Vance family will have no heir like you. Olivia is so good. You don't cherish her. You torment her time and again. Without her, you're nothing. He stared at me, waiting for me to beg, to repent, to suddenly awaken, burst into tears, and kneel for forgiveness, just like in the novel. I looked at him. Then I glanced at Olivia. She was watching me too, lips pressed tightly together. The air was taut as a drawn bowstring. I nodded. My voice was calm. Okay. The old man froze. Olivia's eyes widened just a fraction. A fleeting, almost imperceptible, strange emotion flickered within them. More like utter shock, or perhaps a hint of probing curiosity. The viewer feed stuttered for a second, then erupted. What did he say? Okay, he just said okay. Wait, hold on. Did he get the wrong script? The old man told him to get out of the house, and he said okay. He's crazy. Ethan Vance is definitely crazy. Olivia's expression. She didn't expect that either. HLY, holy, what kind of plot twist is this? He burned the Grovelfest script to ashes. He doesn't even want the family fortune. The old man's mouth hung open, speechless for a long moment. His face beat red. Olivia's gaze was pinned to my face. I didn't look at them again. I turned and went upstairs, to my room to pack my things. The taste of freedom, so damn refreshing. The comments were still scrolling frantically. He doesn't want the family fortune, the inheritance, just to get divorced. This scumbag, it's like he's reached a new level of scumbaggery, scummy with a backbone. Olivia, I prepped for 3 years of angsty, profound love, and this is what I get. The world is collapsing. I can't watch this show anymore. Just then, Olivia frowned and stepped in front of me. She said coolly, Ethan, I'm the one who should leave. But I still have to tell you, the baby I lost. It was yours, not Kevin Price's. I never did anything to betray you. You don't need to play these mind games anymore. I won't see you again. I made a visor with my hand, squinting and grinning. I'll send you off 1,000 miles away. Your words are music to my ears. There might be a company gala tonight. Whatever you do, don't come. Don't let me see you there. Olivia frowned, a hint of anger in her eyes. I looked down, rubbing my fingertips together. If you don't come tonight, then Kevin Price won't come either. I won't let Chloe Summers come. Everything will be perfect. I'm begging you, please don't come. Olivia looked stunned, unsure what I meant. I'd read the original novel, of course. I knew the trashy plot points. Tonight, there was a gala. The male lead sees Olivia arriving with Kevin Price, flies into a jealous rage, kisses Chloe Summers on the spot, escalating the conflict between the main couple. The male lead also beats up Kevin Price, completely disillusioning the female lead. Finally, the male lead's father publicly disinherits him, and he's driven out in disgrace. Cue the chase her back through hell arc. Right now, if I told Olivia not to come, none of that would happen. A clean break, everyone happy. But if they dared to show up, they couldn't blame me for playing dirty. I'd already acquired some evidence not mentioned in the original novel. Freedom feels this good. Who wants to play your love-hate games? So boring. No one to chase, no one to suck up to, not bound by the plot. My own time, my own space, my own future. What groveling redemption arc? What angsty deep love? Bullshit. I'm going to make money, build my career, and live a free, unrestrained life. Nobody bother me. But Olivia, contrary to her usual demeanor, lifted her head and looked at me stubbornly. I'm going. What right do you have to tell me not to? Sure enough, the viewer feed in front of my eyes went wild. Olivia. Listen to him. Hell no, my rebellious phase has arrived. The one about my ex-husband telling me not to go to the gala. So, I'm definitely going. Ethan Vance versus Kevin Price. Who will win? Tonight's definitely going to be a bloodbath. Can't wait to see Ethan cry his eyes out and beg for forgiveness. I've read the original. A massive showdown is about to begin. If the male lead doesn't suffer, I'll eat my hat. 5 seriously unhinged. I ignored Olivia, ignored the live comments, shook my head, and went back to the office. The conference room was already full, silent. Everyone sat ramrod straight. Thick stacks of documents lay on the table. The projector was on, and the air was tense. Everyone was sneaking glances at me, their eyes filled with apprehension and uncertainty. They probably all knew Mr. Vance got divorced today. His mood must be abysmal, and they were all bracing for his wrath. Besides, the previous Ethan Vance was an incompetent fool who only knew how to bark orders. I walked to the head of the table and sat down. No pleasantries. Begin, I said. Finance first. The CFO immediately stood up and began his report, a barrage of numbers. Revenue, profit, costs, cash flow. His voice was fast, a little shaky. I listened, my mind automatically analyzing. Before transmigrating, I worked in finance. Reading reports was instinct. Loopholes, inflated figures, inconsistencies. I spotted them at a glance. Stop, I interrupted him, pointing to a spot on the projected slide. Here, third quarter marketing expenses. A 35% year-over-year surge. Explain. Sweat beaded on the CFO's forehead. Mr. Vance, that was for sponsoring several large events and celebrity endorsements. Which celebrity? Where's the endorsement effectiveness assessment report, the ROI data, event conversion rate tracking? My voice wasn't loud, but each word landed like a small hammer blow. Can't produce it? Then it's a waste. Who approved this expenditure? You. The CFO's face turned white. It was recommended by Miss Chloe Summers previously. And Miss Hayes. Olivia, the former director, also thought it was feasible. Chloe and Olivia again. A few comments drifted by, accusing me of passing the buck. Olivia Hayes is no longer a director here. I looked at him. I divorced her. She has no further connection to Vance Corporation. Chloe Summers. Who is she? Since when does an outsider dictate company spending? The conference room was dead silent. Everyone held their breath. They knew my previous self used to hang on Chloe's every word. Ignoring their stunned looks, I continued coldly. For this sum, the finance department failed in its due diligence. The supervisor responsible will forfeit 3 months' bonus. I looked at the CFO. Your year-end bonus is gone. Don't let it happen again. One more time, and you can clear out your desk. The CFO's legs nearly buckled. He stammered. Yes, Mr. Vance, I'll investigate thoroughly and hold those responsible accountable. Continue. I turned to the next person. Project department. The progress on that West Side land development. Why is it 2 months behind schedule? The project manager scrambled to his feet, launching into explanations about demolition issues and approval processes. I listened, interjecting occasionally, asking about key milestones, responsible parties, and solutions. Decisive, no wasted words. The atmosphere in the room slowly shifted from panic to awe. No one dared to slack off. No one dared to be perfunctory. One by one, they were grilled until they were sweating bullets. Yet they couldn't help but be impressed. Mr. Vance was like a different person. He didn't roar, didn't curse, but he was far more intimidating than the old, irascible Ethan Vance. His gaze was too sharp, his questions too incisive, every word hitting a critical point. The tone of the live comments changed too. Holy crap, he's working, actually working. That aura is kind of terrifying. His questions are so professional, straight to the point. Is this still that clueless tycoon who only knew how to solve problems with money and shouting? Did the divorce hit him so hard it unlocked his brain? A man focused on his career. Kinda scary, kinda hot. Shut up. I'm just rambling. These comments are toxic. Don't you dare switch sides. He's a scumbag. But he really doesn't seem to care about Olivia anymore. He doesn't even mention her name. The meeting lasted a full 3 hours. When it ended, everyone looked like they'd fought a hard battle, exhausted, but with something different in their eyes. No longer just fear, but a touch of respect. I stood up. Meeting adjourned. The issues raised today, I want solutions on my desk by noon tomorrow. I need to see specific action items, responsible parties, and timelines. If you can't deliver, someone else will. Yes, Mr. Vance. The response was unusually uniform and resonant. I strode out of the conference room, not back to my own office, but straight to my assistant's desk. Give me a new apartment. Downtown, top-tier security, high privacy. I want to move in tonight. Anything useful from the Vance estate, pack it and send it over. Anything useless, toss it. The assistant blinked. Mr. Vance, you're not returning to the mansion. That's the Vance family's house, not mine. I don't want to live with anyone from the Vance family right now. I looked at him. Understand? Understood. The assistant immediately jotted it down. I'll get right on it. Also, I added, change all passwords, locks, security systems, especially at the mansion. Do a thorough sweep. I don't want anyone gaining unauthorized access to my properties. Anyone, including Mr. Vance Sr. And Olivia Hayes, Chloe Summers, the assistant asked tentatively. Including everyone, I said decisively. Yes, sir. The assistant's reply was crisp. The viewer feed remained bewildered. Moving out? A complete severance? Is he going lone wolf? Setting up his own shop? Feels like something big is about to happen. Aren't I watching a melodrama? Why do I feel a little bit satisfied? After arranging all that, I finally returned to my spacious CEO office. Beyond the massive floor-to-ceiling windows stretched the city skyline. The golden light of sunset streamed in, illuminating dancing dust motes. I walked to the window, looking down at the traffic and people below. As for the live comments, those colorful words were still scrolling in my vision. What's he doing by the window? Trying to look profound. He regrets it. He definitely regrets not trying to win Olivia back. $10 says he's about to call Olivia. Classic scumbag move, playing hard to get. I looked at those dancing words and smiled silently, shaking my head. A bunch of losers, probably. Can't get any satisfaction in their own lives, so they get off on watching other people's drama. One word for them. Pathetic. I touched the USB drive my assistant had just handed me, then pulled out my phone, found a name in my contacts, and dialed. Mr. Davies, I said into the phone, my voice calm. I need you to help me set up a personal trust fund. Transfer all my personal assets, movable and immovable property, stocks, investments, everything outside of Vance Corporation, into it, to be managed independently, completely separate from Vance Corp. I'll be the sole beneficiary and trustee. There was a moment of silence on the other end. Then Mr. Davies' voice, noticeably more grave, replied, Understood, Mr. Vance. I'll handle any legal risk mitigation. You'll have the paperwork by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Good. I hung up. The golden light of the sunset sank completely behind the skyscrapers, like a glittering sea of stars. I watched that light, and the viewer feed in my vision froze for an instant. A trust, separating assets, with himself as the beneficiary. Was he planning? Writing a will? He's playing for keeps? Really planning to go it alone, down to the bitter end? Does Olivia know he's locked up all his money? It's over. The grovel fest. He's not even groveling. 7. The gala. Crystal chandeliers blazed. A cacophony of voices filled the air. I leaned against a corner, a glass of champagne in hand, my eyes scanning the room. Olivia had indeed come. Her male best friend, Kevin Price, was by her side, standing very close, whispering something to her. Kevin was smiling, looking smugly satisfied. Olivia's expression was neutral, but she didn't pull away. On the other side of the room, Chloe Summers was also present. She flitted about like a social butterfly, playing the hostess, though her eyes kept darting towards me, loaded with implication. The live comments dutifully appeared. Holy crap, full cast assembled. Let the drama begin. Kevin's grinning like the cat that got the cream. Olivia, you fool. Chloe's still fishing. That woman's got a hide thicker than a concrete wall. Mr. Vance brooding in the corner. Go on, make your move. I'm dying here. Place your bets. Place your bets. How long until Ethan breaks? I give him 5 minutes. Waiting for Ethan to lose it and tear into Kevin Price. Fight, fight. Kevin Price spotted me. His lips curled. He put an arm around Olivia's waist and steered her towards me. Olivia's body tensed. She tried to pull away, but Kevin didn't let go. They stopped in front of me. Kevin raised his glass, feigning sincerity. Mr. Vance, I hear congratulations are in order for a big decision today. Glad to see you've regained your freedom. He deliberately glanced at Olivia. Olivia and I are happy for you too. Olivia said nothing, lips pressed together, watching me with a complex expression. The viewer feed exploded. Kevin's rubbing it in his face. Kill him. Ethan, do something. Olivia's being used as a pawn. My heart aches for her. Ethan's expression is so cold. Is he planning something big? Chloe Summers sidled over too. She turned to Kevin and Olivia, her saccharine act in full swing. Mr. Price, Miss Hayes, I really don't think you should be provoking Ethan right now. He's in a lot of pain, you. Kevin scoffed. Pain? More like confused, I'd say. Letting a wonderful wife like Olivia go. Chloe immediately stepped in front of me, adopting a protective stance. Mr. Price, please watch your words. You have no right to talk about Ethan like that. The comments went wild. Holy hell. The scheming which protecting her master. Drama of the year. Kevin adding fuel to the fire. Chloe fanning the flames. A perfect match. Ethan, curse them out. Rip them a new one. Come on, why is it Mr. Vance exploding yet? This is out of character. It's over. Ethan's been shocked into stupidity. I looked at the three of them. One provocative. One acting. One silent. Like watching a monkey show. I chuckled. I just wanted to focus on making money. But if they were all going to serve themselves up on a platter, then they couldn't blame me for not being polite. I took out my phone and tapped it a few times. The giant screen in the ballroom, which had been displaying boring advertisements, suddenly switched. It changed to a hidden camera video. The angle was discreet, but the picture was clear. The audio came through loud and crisp. It was Kevin Price and Chloe Summers. In a private room. The live comments stuttered for a second, then went insane. The big screen? HOLY crap. He's putting it on the Jumbotron. What's Ethan doing? That angle. Hidden camera? High-level warning. Something big is coming. This wasn't the original novel. What's going on? In the video, Kevin Price poured himself a drink, smiling at Chloe Summers. Chloe, that was a brilliant move. Bribing that doctor to insist Olivia's pregnancy was early term, so the dates wouldn't line up with Ethan's business trip. That idiot Ethan actually bought it. Chloe covered her mouth, giggling coquettishly. He deserved it. Who told him to only have eyes for that bitch Olivia? I wanted him to personally get rid of his own child, then force Olivia out with nothing, make him regret it for the rest of his life. And you played your part perfectly too, deliberately inviting Olivia out for that dinner, didn't you? Flawless execution. Kevin clinked glasses with her. Pleasure doing business with you. All I want is Olivia. That blind fool Ethan, having lost Olivia and alienated his own father. The Vance family is doomed sooner or later. When that time comes, Olivia will have nowhere else to turn but back to me. Chloe's eyes glinted fiercely. Ethan Vance must be mine. He dares to reject me. Just wait until he's lost everything and comes crawling back, begging me. Then we'll see how I deal with him. As the video played, the entire ballroom fell silent. Everyone stared at the big screen, dumbfounded. The smile on Kevin Price's face froze solid. The color drained from his face, whoosh, leaving it utterly white. The smugness in his eyes turned to terror. He whipped his head around to look at me, as if he'd seen a ghost. Chloe Summers' fake tears and feigned hurt instantly congealed on her face. Her mouth hung open, her body trembled as if her bones had been removed, her eyes vacant. "No, Ethan, listen to me," she babbled incoherently, trying to lunge forward and turn off the video. I shot her a cold glance. She froze in place. The most shocked was Olivia. She stared intently at the screen. Her body swayed. The wine glass in her hand slipped, clattering to the floor with a smash. It shattered into pieces. Red wine splashed on her white dress like blood. She didn't react. She just stood there, eyes wide. Her pupils registered a violent earthquake. Disbelief. Then a vast emptiness. Finally, a cold fury began to smolder. Slowly, very slowly, she turned her head. First, to the ashen-faced, trembling Kevin Price. Then, to the teetering, despair-filled Chloe Summers. Her lips trembled. She couldn't utter a single word. The live comments went absolutely berserk. A tsunami of text scrolled past. Aoaoaoa, a nuke. Ethan dropped a nuke. HOY crap, holy crap. Plot twist, a massive plot twist. Kevin Price and Chloe Summers, those two bastards. So it was them all along. Olivia. Look at Olivia's expression. My heart is broken. Ethan, Mr. Vance, God Vance, you are my father. This move was on another level. So Ethan signing the divorce, blacklisting Chloe, getting kicked out. It was all because he knew the truth. He's not a scumbag. He was bearing the burden in silence. Holy crap. This script is amazing. Those of us who cursed Ethan before, I kneel, Mr. Vance, accept my bow. Grovelfest instantly turns into a revenge drama. Awesome. Olivia's stunned. Her worldview has collapsed. Kevin and Chloe are green in the face. Look, they're about to piss their pants. Ha ha ha. Tio, much information. My CPU is overheating. Let me process this. The video finally ended, and the giant screen went black. The ballroom remained deathly silent. You could hear a pin drop. Everyone was choked by this colossal scandal, struggling to breathe. I put down my untouched champagne and looked at the stunned Olivia. Her face was whiter than paper. Her eyes were vacant and tormented, as if her soul had been ripped out. I spoke, my voice not loud, but in the dead silence of the hall, it was terrifyingly clear. See it clearly? These are the friends you trusted and the good man you almost married. I tugged at the corner of my mouth, my voice icy. The child was mine. You did nothing to wrong me. The ones who wronged you were them. I pointed to the deathly pale Kevin Price and Chloe Summers. And my gaze finally landed on Olivia's pallid face. And you, who told me nothing. You sacrificed for me, did so much for me, but you kept it all bottled up, creating your own internal drama. So melodramatic and sickening. You're guilty too. With that, I looked at no one else and turned. Amidst hundreds of shocked, probing, fearful gazes, amidst the explosive celebration of the live comments, I walked through the silent crowd, out of that opulent, yet nauseating ballroom. Outside, the night air was cool. I took a deep breath. Faintly, from behind me, came Kevin Price's broken roars and Chloe Summers' shrill wails, and Olivia's suppressed, shattered sobs. The taste of freedom, finally mixed with something else, called truth. The live comments continued their ecstatic, frenzied scrolling in my head. He went berserk. Mr. Vance went absolutely berserk tonight. From purgatory to godhood. All it took was one video. Now the pressure is on Olivia. What will she choose? Grovelfest script urgently revised. Mr. Vance, are you hiring any hangers-on? Kevin Price and Chloe Summers socially executed. Satisfying. Ethan, turn back. Olivia needs you. Screaming. 9. The next afternoon, I'd already received the asset separation documents from my lawyer. My phone rang. The old man again. Hello. Ethan, come home. I know about last night. I've invited Olivia back. Whether you two can reconcile is up to you now. Get back here immediately. Explain things clearly. Apologize to her. You can still be a family. Comments drifted by. Yes, Mr. Vance SR is the best. Reconcile already. Olivia's softening. Go. For it, Ethan. Grovel fest over. Remarry. At City Hall. Home. My voice was flat. Which home? The Vance estate. Weren't you the one who personally kicked me out yesterday? Haven't you changed the name on the deed already? The other end went silent. Comment started up. Oof. Lethal comeback. Mr. Vance holds a grudge. JPG. The old man's been owned. The old man took a breath, trying to reason. That was said in anger. You're my son. Blood is thicker than water. Everything the Vance family has is rightfully yours. As long as you come back and treat Olivia well. I cut him off. Dad, you're hilarious. Yesterday, for someone you considered a good daughter-in-law, you pointed at your own son's nose, calling him heartless, blind, telling me to get out of this house, that the Vance family has no heir like me. I recited his words verbatim. Every word a stab to the heart, so powerful and resonant. What? A night passes. You find out your good daughter-in-law's miscarriage was orchestrated by villains. Your good son isn't so blind after all, and suddenly blood is thicker again. The family fortune is mine again. Your blood ties and family fortune have a pretty flexible switch, huh? Depend on your mood. A torrent of comments. Damn. Critical hit after critical hit. Is Mr. Vance's tongue laced with poison? Wonder if the old man's face hurts. Reverse gaslighting master. The old man's breathing grew heavy. He was clearly furious. You rebellious whelp. I'm your father. Yes, I admit it. Which makes you even more interesting. A father who, to protect an outsider daughter-in-law he's known for only a few years, unhesitatingly wants to sever paternal ties, kick his own son out of the house, without asking for reasons, without listening to explanations, believing only what he wants to believe. Your biased logic is quite touching. Now that the truth is out, you think a casual said in anger, blood is thicker than water, can just erase yesterday's drama? Dad, spilled water isn't so easily recovered. The moment you push me away with your own hands, I stop being a Vance. Whether you accept Olivia as your daughter or daughter-in-law, that's your business. Don't drag me into it. I'm doing just fine now. Comments, WHOA, logic monster. The old man is definitely in the wrong. Mr. Vance, rejecting emotional blackmail. This level of clarity, love it, love it. What about Olivia? Silence on the other end for a long time. I could hear the old man's heavy breathing. Then, someone else took the phone. It was Olivia. Her voice came through a bit hoarse, a bit dry. Ethan, can we talk? Alone. The viewer feed instantly hit a crescendo. Olivia made the first move. Ethan says, this is your chance. Reconciliation countdown. Grovel fest over. Remarriage at the courthouse. Let's go. I scoffed. The sound was clear, transmitted through the receiver. Talk about what? Talk about how pitiful you were, being deceived for 3 years. Talk about how remarkable it is that I've finally been vindicated. Talk about how we should now cherish each other and mend our broken mirror. Olivia, save it. Yesterday, at the family court, I signed the papers. So did you. My father kicked me out of the house. You tacitly allowed it. In your heart, I'm still that blind, heartless Ethan Vance who caused your child's death and tormented you for 3 years. You hate me, loathe me, want to escape me. That feeling isn't wrong, because for those 3 years, the person who abused you indeed bore the name Ethan Vance in this face. Although it wasn't me who did it, but I acknowledged the debt. So I signed. I got out of the Vance house. I paid the price I was supposed to pay. We're even. Now that the truth is out, you feel aggrieved, feel deceived, feel sorry for me. No need. The one you should feel sorry for is that foolish Ethan Vance from before, who truly loved you but was deceived, misled, and ultimately made a terrible mistake. Unfortunately, he's already been driven to his death by your collective actions. The current me doesn't hate you, nor do I owe you anything, and I certainly don't need your guilt or compensation. Like that old song goes, I'm sending you away 1,000 miles from yesterday. Your apology, I'm unworthy of it. So let's not talk. Ms. Ex-wife, I wish you, in the future, to stay far away from scumbags. Goodbye. Oh no, I mean, never see you again. After speaking, I didn't wait for a reaction, just hung up the phone. I also blocked my father's number. The world was quiet. The viewer feed completely imploded. Reconciliation failed. Mr. Vance with a triple rejection. He called Olivia Ms. Ex-wife. So formal. I acknowledged the debt. Damn, why is this a little heartbreaking? He's already been driven to his death by your collective actions. Holy crap, that's dark when you think about it. So Mr. Vance thinks he's a different person. Chase her back. Chase what, Mr. Vance, don't touch me. The Grovel Fest script was personally torched by Mr. Vance. Olivia must be stunned on the other end of the phone. I tossed my phone aside. Sunlight pooled on the floor. Warm, quiet, and free, with a touch of resolute satisfaction. The comments were still scrolling. Ethan Vance, you're truly ruthless. I thought the truth coming out would be HEA, but it turned into such a thorough B. Olivia, who am I supposed to cry to now? This plot direction. Writer, come out and take your beating. Slams table. A few days later, news alerts popped up on my phone. Prize Corp stock had plummeted by 90%. Their core projects were being systematically targeted by Vance Corporation, leading to a break in their capital chain. Kevin Price was under investigation for commercial fraud and embezzlement. Chloe Summers had a trove of private photos and recordings leaked, implicating her in blackmail, extortion, and trading sex for favors. The Summers family went bankrupt, creditors hounding their door. Chloe Summers was diagnosed with a nervous breakdown and committed to a sanatorium. Comments drifted by Mr. Vance Sr. Strikes. Swift and decisive. Olivia with a follow-up attack. Precise and ruthless. Kevin Price, suicide watch activated. Chloe the green tea is thoroughly finished. Revenge drama mode on. Where's Mr. Vance? Come watch the show. A knock on my apartment door. I opened it to find Olivia standing outside. Her face was still a bit pale, but her eyes were different. No longer vacant or at a loss. There was something else. Fatigue, composure, and a hint of something indefinable. She wore no makeup, dressed simply. Can we talk? She asked. Not about getting back together. I stepped aside to let her in. Comment started, Olivia's here. Not about reconciling. Then what? Mr. Vance actually let her in? Is there a chance? The atmosphere feels off. She didn't sit, just stood in the middle of my living room, looking at me. Kevin Price is finished. Chloe Summers too. Dad, Mr. Vance Sr. made the move. I provided the ammunition. I poured myself a glass of water and drank it. All the evidence has been verified, she continued. The miscarriage back then. Chloe Summers bribed the doctor and a maid, forged the prenatal report and call logs. Kevin Price provided the funds and channels and deliberately created ambiguous situations between him and me while you were on business trips. I put down my water glass. She paused, seemingly choosing her words carefully, looking at me with a complex gaze. Both of us were fools, kept in the dark, tormenting each other for 3 years. She gave a bitter, mirthless smile, like two puppets on strings, played by them, hating the wrong person and loving in the wrong way. Comments, Olivia's seen the light. Sobbing, my heart aches for these two fools. Hug her, Ethan. Now that the truth is out, it's time to reconcile. I looked at her. So, I asked. So, she seemed unprepared for my reaction. So, Olivia. I cut her off. Fools is what you said, not me. She froze. You think we were fools, deceived, pitiful, wronged, and now that we're vindicated, we should cry on each other's shoulders, or at least bury the hatchet. I took a step closer. She instinctively took half a step back. Stop being melodramatic, I said, my tone flat. For the past 3 years, the pain was real, the harm was real, the miscarriage was real, signing the divorce papers was real. Your hatred for me, your desire to escape me, that was real. Me signing and getting out was also real. Now that the truth is out, can what happened in those 3 years be erased? Can that pain and harm be deleted with a single click? No, they're still there, like a scar, reminding us how stupid we were, how easily manipulated, how much of a failure. Comments, damn, so cold. But it kind of makes sense. Mr. Vance is painfully pragmatic. Olivia's eyes are red. Olivia's lips moved, as if she wanted to say something. I didn't give her the chance. You said we clearly loved each other? I looked at her, my gaze calm and unwavering. Olivia, are you sure? 3 years ago, that blind, heartless Ethan Vance, who only knew how to express his possessiveness through harm. He loved you in a twisted way, a stupid way, a way that harmed himself and others. And you? The Olivia who was hurt, deceived, filled with resentment, only wanting to escape. Are you sure you still love him then? No, you hated him to the bone. Now, that Ethan Vance is dead, driven to his death by you all and by himself. The person standing before you is not him. I don't hate you, but I can't say I love you either. Towards you, there's only a shred of moral responsibility that comes with the identity of ex-wife. Or perhaps the final obligation to clean up the mess left by that idiot Ethan Vance. Obligation fulfilled, slate wiped clean. As for you, I looked at her somewhat pale face. Stop talking about love. That stuff is too intangible. And stop dwelling over who was foolish or who owed whom in the past. It's meaningless. Look forward. Live your life well. The status of Vance Corporation's daughter-in-law is enough for you to live very well. Don't make love the entirety of your life. That stuff. Sometimes it's less substantial than a hot meal. Comments exploded. Philosophical master, Ethan Online. Love isn't as good as a bowl of rice. Olivia, who am I? Where am I? What did I come here for? This direction. Has he gone completely zen? Chase her back? Chase what? Mr. Vance, I've already renounced worldly desires. Olivia's been talked into a stupor. Olivia stood there, stunned. The complex emotions in her eyes were completely replaced by blankness. She looked at me, like she was looking at a stranger. After a long time, she asked very softly then, "What do you want now?" I smiled faintly. I want to be left alone, 3 meals a day, peace and quiet, freedom, and to be far away from troublesome people and things like you all. The farther, the better. Comments. Ultimate goal. Lie flat. Do nothing, chill, Mr. Vance. Don't love me, it won't work out. Olivia completely out of the picture. The Grovel Fest script has been burned into holy relics. Olivia said no more. She looked at me for a long time. Her eyes held shock, confusion, residual pain, and a hint of complete release. Finally, she nodded, said nothing, turned, opened the door, and left. Clean and decisive. Comments. Olivia gave up. Well, maybe it's for the best. Live and let live. Mr. Vance, thank God she finally left. This ending, so unexpectedly refreshing. How the male lead of a melodrama cultivated the path of indifference. Time passed quickly. A year, then 2. I was doing well, very well. When I separated my assets from the Vance family, the old man, in the end, didn't have the heart to be completely ruthless. The amount of money I took wasn't small, enough for me to play around with. I didn't go back to Vance Corporation. I used that money for investments. Luck was decent. My judgment wasn't bad either. A few projects down the line, the money rolled in, doubled, then doubled again. Now, money wasn't an issue. Time was free. Mood was excellent. No more agonizing over love. Certainly not trapped by emotions. The world was simple. Goals were clear. Make money. Enjoy life. Whatever felt good. Traveling, diving, skiing, or just lying on my balcony, soaking up the sun, reading a book, sleeping in. No one to bother me. No one to annoy me. Peace. But occasionally, at unavoidable events, like industry summits, charity galas, I would run into Olivia. She held a significant position at Vance Corporation now, personally groomed by the old man. Decisive, strong-willed. No longer that pale-faced, vacant-eyed woman from before. Now, she was radiant, her presence powerful. The first time we met at a gala, across the crowd, she saw me. She nodded, I nodded back. We passed each other without a word. The second time, at a cocktail party, she walked over, holding a wine glass. Long time no see, she said. I raised my glass. Heard you're doing well, she said, her tone casual, like discussing the weather. Can't complain, not starving. We clinked glasses and went our separate ways. The third time, the fourth, we bumped into each other more often, sometimes exchanging a few words. Business, the market, trivial matters, nothing deep. Like old acquaintances or familiar strangers. Comments occasionally drifted by. Mr. Vance is getting more handsome. A free man shines. Olivia has transformed too. Queen vibes. These two together, their aura matches so well. Such a pity. What's pitiful? Isn't it good that they're both doing well on their own? No one mentioned the past. No one mentioned love. No one mentioned reconciliation. A tacit agreement to turn the page. Completely turned. Another gala. Ambient lighting, soothing music, a hubbub of voices. I leaned against the bar, spacing out, watching the crowd. Olivia walked over, no drink in her hand. Care to chat? She asked. Sure, I said. We went out to the terrace. The night breeze was cool and refreshing. She leaned against the railing, turning her head to look at me. She watched me for a long time, her eyes somewhat complex. Searching, rueful, finally a small smile bloomed. Ethan, she began. The you now, she paused, seeming to search for the right words, is truly charming. She finished speaking and looked at me, her gaze open, no ambiguity, no probing, like stating an objective fact. I raised an eyebrow, a little surprised. Is that so? I smiled. Bought with money. No. She shook her head, very seriously. It's that. Vibe. What vibe? The vibe of not caring. She looked at the distant city lights. Not caring about anything, not bound by anything. Free, clear-headed, knowing what you want and what you don't. She turned back to me. That vibe. It's very attractive. Before, she added, her tone flat. You didn't have it. Before. I corked my lips. That idiot before. All he had was caring too much and being a mess. She didn't refute it, tacitly agreeing. So, I took a sip of the remaining soda water in my glass. Now is better. Yes, it's much better. She said nothing more. I didn't ask either, not how she was, how the old man was, or how Vance Corporation was doing. No need. Each doing well on their own was the best. We stood for a while, the night breeze turning a bit chilly. Heading back in, I asked. Okay, she said. We walked back into the ballroom, one after the other, merging into the lights and noise, like two streams that briefly converged, then peacefully diverged, flowing towards our own distant horizons. A few final lines scrolled across the viewer feed. And, scene, that's a wrap. Mr. Vance is living his best life, like the hero of a power fantasy. Olivia is thriving on her own. All hail the queen. This ending, unexpected, but perfectly logical. The grovel fest turned into a luxury resort. Mr. Vance is a legend. Long live freedom. Goodbye, Ethan. Goodbye, Olivia. Goodbye, stupid plot. Life went on. The sun was bright. The wind was free. I was driving, cruising along the coastal highway. No destination in mind, just moving forward. Window down, the salty sea breeze rushed in. It felt good on my face. The radio played an old song. I hummed along off-key. My mood was like the sky above. Open, bright, cloudless, utterly clear. Life was good. Damn good. The end.